"Captain, you need to see this," Park Minji called from her station, her fingers dancing across the communication console. The young officer's voice carried an excitement that made everyone on the bridge turn there. "Attention to order. I'm picking up something that shouldn't exist." Jinwoo walked over to her station, his boots echoing against the metal floor of the ship. The New Soul was humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, equipped with quantum engines and the latest scanning technology. They had been on a routine mapping mission in the Outer Rim when this discovery changed their entire mission. "What kind of signal?" Jinwoo asked, leaning over Minji's shoulder to examine the data streaming across her screens. "It's definitely artificial, sir. But here's the strange part." Minji highlighted a section of the readout with her finger. The frequency patterns match of transmission protocols. "Not just similar, Captain. Identical." Kim Do-yeon, the ship's chief engineer, looked up from his maintenance work on the nearby power systems. His grease-stained uniform and tool belt made him look more like a mechanic than a space explorer, but his mind was one of the sharpest in the fleet. "That's impossible. No human ship has ever traveled this far into the Zirian sector." Dr. Choi. Hannah emerged from the science lab, her tablet in hand and her dark hair tied back in a practical ponytail. As the ship's xenobiologist, she had spent years studying alien life forms, but this discovery was pulling her into completely new territory. "The signals coming from coordinates that are supposed to be empty space according to all our star charts." Jinwoo felt his heart rate increase. In his 15 years of commanding deep space missions, he had encountered many mysteries, but nothing like this. "How far out is the source?" "Approximately 47 light hours," Minji replied, her fingers still working to clean up the signal. "But Captain, there's more. The transmission isn't just random noise. There are patterns, almost like someone is trying to communicate." The bridge fell silent except for the gentle hum of the ship's life support systems through the massive viewing windows. Stars stretched endlessly in all directions. But now one of those distant points of light held a secret that could change human understanding of their place in the galaxy. Do-yeon wiped his hands on a rag and walked over to join the group. "Let me take a look at the technical specifications." He studied Minji's screen for several minutes, his expression growing more puzzled with each passing moment. "These power signatures match human fusion technology, but they're stronger than anything we currently have. Could it be a lost colony ship?" Hannah asked, though her scientific mind was already running through the possibilities. "Maybe one that launched before official records began." Jinwoo shook his head. "Every human ship that's ever left Earth's solar system is accounted for. The Galactic Registry keeps detailed records of all human exploration missions." The ship's artificial intelligence system chimed softly, and a holographic face appeared near the captain's chair. "Captain Jinwoo, long-range sensors are detecting unusual energy readings from the signal source location. The patterns suggest active technology." "Active technology means someone is still alive out there," Minji whispered, her eyes wide with the implications. Jinwoo made a decision that would change all their lives. "Set course for those coordinates. Maximum safe speed, sir," Do-yeon said. "Carefully. That sector is restricted by the Galactic Council. We'd be violating several interstellar treaties just by entering that space. The Galactic Council thinks humans are too primitive for deep space exploration anyway." Jinwoo replied with a slight smile. "Let's show them what we're really capable of." As the New Soul changed course and began accelerating toward the mysterious signal, none of the crew could have imagined they were about to discover something that would challenge everything the Galaxy thought it knew about human capabilities. The ship's engines hummed with increasing power as they headed toward a rendezvous with the impossible. Hannah returned to her lab to begin preparing analysis equipment. While Doyen started checking all ship systems for the journey ahead, Minji continued monitoring the signal, hoping to decode more of its mysterious message. In the depths of space, the signal continued broadcasting, calling out across the void with a message that only humans could understand. Whatever waited for them at those coordinates had been sending that signal for a very long time, and now, finally, someone was coming to answer. The new soul cut through the darkness of space like a silver arrow, its hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Captain Jinwoo stood on the bridge, watching the navigation display count down the distance to their forbidden destination. Every hour brought them deeper into territory where humans were not welcome. "Captain, we're approaching the outer boundary of the Zirian sector," Minji announced from her communication station. Her voice carried a hint of nervousness that she tried to hide. "Once we cross this line, we'll officially be in violation of Galactic Council regulations." Jinwoo nodded, his jaw set with determination. "The Galactic Council has kept humanity locked in our own solar system for decades, claiming we're not ready for true deep space exploration. Today, we prove them wrong." In the engine room, Kim Do-yeon was working frantically on modifications he had been planning for months. His hands moved with practiced precision as he rewired power conduits and adjusted the quantum field generators. Sweat dripped from his forehead as he connected the final components of his secret project, Do-yeon. To bridge, his voice crackled through the ship's communication system. "Captain, I've finished the engine modifications. We now have 40% more power and maneuverability than any ship in the human fleet." "How did you manage that?" Dr. Hannah asked, looking impressed as she monitored the energy readings from her science station. "I've been studying alien technology for years," Do-yeon replied with pride. "Turns out, human engineering principles work better than the aliens thought possible. We just needed to think outside their rule book." The ship suddenly shuddered as proximity alarms began blaring throughout the bridge. Red warning lights bathed everything in an ominous glow as the crew scrambled to their battle stations. "3 alien patrol ships approaching fast," Minji reported, her fingers flying across her control panel. "They're hailing us on all frequencies, demanding we turn around immediately." Through the main viewing screen, the crew could see the approaching vessels. The alien ships looked like massive insects with metallic wings, their hulls bristling with weapon systems that glowed with menacing blue energy. Each ship was twice the size of the Nuso and carried enough firepower to destroy a small moon. "This is Commander Vextar of the Galactic Patrol." A harsh alien voice filled the bridge. Through the communication system, "Human vessel, you are trespassing in restricted space. Reverse course immediately or face the consequences." Jinwoo stepped forward, his voice steady and confident. "This is Captain Lee Jinwoo of the exploration vessel New Seoul. We are investigating a distress signal and exercising our right to rescue operations under galactic law. Humans have no rights in this sector." The alien commander snarled. "Your species lacks the intelligence and technology for deep space operations. Turn round now, or we will disable your primitive ship." "Primitive?" Do-yeon's voice came through the intercom with a hint of amusement. "Captain, request permission to show them what human engineering can really do." The alien ship suddenly accelerated, their weapons charging with deadly intent. Energy beams lanced through space toward the New Seoul, but Jinwoo was ready for them. Evasive maneuvers, full power to engines, he commanded. The New Seoul responded like a living thing, twisting and diving through space with impossible grace. Do-yeon's modifications had transformed the ship into something the aliens had never seen before. While their massive patrol ships lumbered through space like flying fortresses, the human vessel danced between their attacks like a leaf in the wind. "How are they moving so fast?" one of the alien pilots transmitted. not realizing his communication channel was still open. "Their ship is too small to carry that much power," another alien voice replied. Filled with confusion and growing respect, the new soul spun around a massive asteroid, using the rock's gravity to slingshot toward the patrol ships at incredible speed. The aliens fired everything they had, but their weapons couldn't track the human ship's unpredictable movements. Impossible. Commander Vexstar muttered as the new soul executed a maneuver that should have torn apart any known spacecraft. No human ship can withstand those acceleration forces. Hannah smiled from her station as she monitored the ship's systems. Human bodies are more adaptable than they think. "We've been dealing with extreme forces since we first climbed out of Earth's gravity well." Captain Lee Jinwoo stared at the holographic display floating above the command deck of the exploration vessel Nusol. The blue-white glow cast shadows across his weathered face as he studied the readings that had just changed everything they thought they knew about human exploration. The chase continued for hours, with the alien patrol ships growing more frustrated with each passing minute. Their advanced technology and superior firepower meant nothing against human creativity and determination. The new soul weaved through asteroid fields, dove into planetary rings, and performed stunts that left the alien pilots speechless. Finally, Commander Vexstar's voice came through the communications again, but this time it carried a different tone. "Human Captain, your ship's capabilities are beyond our calculations. We will escort you to the sector boundary, but we will not interfere with your mission." As the alien ships formed a respectful formation on the new soul, Jinwoo allowed himself a small smile. Humanity had just earned its first victory in the court of galactic opinion, and they were only getting started. The new soul descended through the thin atmosphere of the barren planet, its hull heating up as it cut through the alien sky. "Captain." Jinwoo watched through the viewing screen as the surface came into view, expecting to see nothing but rocks and dust. What he saw instead made his breath catch in his throat. "Captain, are you seeing this?" Minji whispered from her station. Her voice filled with wonder. Below them spread a thriving settlement that seemed impossible on such a desolate world. Gleaming domes made from salvaged metal caught the light of the distant sun, while gardens of green plants grew in carefully constructed terraces. Solar panels and wind generators dotted the landscape, powering a community that shouldn't have been able to exist. "There must be thousands of people down there," Dr. Hannah observed, studying her scanner readings and the life support systems. "They've built are more efficient than anything we have on Earth." Kim Do-yeon shook his head in amazement. "Look at those structures. They've turned spaceship parts into buildings and created an entire city from crashed vessel components." As the new soul touched down on a prepared landing pad, the crew could see people gathering to welcome them. Men and women in practical work clothes emerged from the settlement, their faces showing a mixture of excitement and disbelief. At the front of the group stood a tall man with graying hair and intelligent eyes that had seen decades of hardship and triumph. The airlock hissed open, and Jinwoo stepped out onto the planet's surface, followed by his crew. The air was thin, but breathable, and he could smell the scent of growing plants carried on the wind. "Welcome to New Hope," the tall man said, extending his hand with a warm smile. "I'm Yoon Sun-ho, the elected leader of this settlement. We've been waiting 37 years for this moment." Jinwoo shook his hand, still trying to process what he was seeing. "Captain Lee Jinwoo, how is this possible? According to all records, no human ship has ever reached this sector." Sun-ho's expression became serious as he gestured for them to follow him into the settlement. "Our colony ship, the Soul's Dream, was part of a secret mission launched in 2387. We were supposed to establish humanity's first deep space outpost. But our navigation systems failed during the journey, As they walked through the settlement, the crew of the New Soul marveled at the ingenuity displayed everywhere they looked. Crushed spaceship hulls had been converted into homes and workshops. Broken engines had been transformed into power generators. Even the ship's old hydroponic space had been expanded into massive food production facilities that fed the entire community. The crash should have killed us all, Sunho continued, leading them past a group of children playing with toys made from spare electronic components. But humans are stubborn creatures. We refused to give up. Park Min stopped to examine a communication tower that reached high into the sky. This is what's been broadcasting the signal. It's built from the ship's original communication ray, but you've amplified it somehow. A young woman with oil-stained hands and a brilliant smile joined their group. I'm Lee Boeing, our chief engineer. We've been improving the signal strength for decades, hoping someone would eventually hear us. Do-Yun's eyes lit up as he recognized a kindred spirit. How did you manage to increase the broadcast range so much? We discovered that this planet has unusual mineral deposits in its crust, Boeing explained, her enthusiasm infectious, by creating a resonance network through the ground. We turned the entire planet into a giant antenna. Dr. Hannah was studying the plant life with fascination. These crops shouldn't be able to grow in this atmosphere. How did you adapt them? An elderly man with kind eyes approached them. I'm Dr. Park Sang-woo, our agricultural specialist. We've spent decades learning to work with this world instead of fighting against it. The plants have evolved alongside us. As they toured the settlement, the crew learned how the colonists had faced impossible challenges and overcome them through pure human determination. They had survived meteor storms by building underground shelters. They had created medicine from local minerals when their supplies ran out. They had even established trade relationships with peaceful alien species who respected their resourcefulness. The signal wasn't just a distress call, Sunho explained as they reached the center of the settlement, where a monument made from the original ship's bridge stood as a reminder of their journey. It was an invitation. We wanted other humans to find us and see what we've accomplished. Jinwoo looked round at the thriving community, at the children laughing as they played, at the adults working together to build something greater than themselves. You've created a miracle here. No, Sunho replied with quiet pride. We've created hope. This proves that humans can survive and thrive anywhere in the galaxy. We don't need the Galactic Council's permission to explore the stars. As the sun set over New Hope, casting long shadows across the settlement, the crew of the New Soul realized they had found something more valuable than any treasure. They had discovered that human spirit could overcome any obstacle, and that their species was ready to take its place among the stars. The morning sky over New Hope suddenly filled with shadows as massive alien warships descended. Through the atmosphere, Captain Jinwoo counted 12 vessels, each one larger than anything in the human fleet. The Galactic Council had arrived with enough firepower to turn the entire settlement into dust. All civilians to the underground shelters immediately. Yoon. Sunho's voice echoed through the settlement's communication system. The colonists moved with practiced efficiency, having prepared for this moment for decades. Children were guided to safety while adults grabbed emergency supplies and defensive equipment on the bridge of the lead council ship. Commander Zephyro studied the human settlement through his tactical display. The tall, blue-skinned alien had crushed dozens of unauthorized colonies across the galaxy, and he expected this one to surrender within minutes. Attention, illegal human settlers. His voice boomed across the planet's surface. You have violated 17 galactic regulations by establishing this colony. Evacuate immediately or face complete destruction. Jinwoo stood in the settlement's hastily constructed command center, surrounded by both his crew and the colony's leaders. Park Minji worked frantically at the communication console while Kim Do-yeon studied defensive options with Lee. Byung, the colony's engineer, Commander Zephyros, Jinwoo replied through the open communication channel. These people have built a peaceful community that threatens no one. They have a right to exist here. Humans have no rights in this sector. Zephyros responded coldly. Your species lacks the intelligence to manage deep space colonies. This settlement ends today. Dr. Choi Hannah looked up from her scanner readings with concern. Captain, they're charging their main weapons. Those ships carry planet-killer technology. But Sun-Ho smiled grimly as he activated a hidden control panel. We've had 37 years to prepare for this day. Commander Zephyros is about to learn that humans are full of surprises. The ground beneath the alien fleet suddenly erupted as massive mining drills burst through the surface. The colonists had converted their deep-core mining equipment into defensive weapons, creating a network of underground tunnels that allowed them to strike from anywhere on the planet. Impossible. Zephyros snarled as his ships were bombarded by precisely aimed mining charges. The explosions weren't powerful enough to destroy the alien vessels, but they disrupted their weapon systems and threw their formations into chaos. Do-yeon grinned as he watched the tactical display. Boyoung, your people are brilliant. Those mining charges are perfectly calibrated to overload their shield generators. We've been studying alien technology from their trading visits for decades, Boyoung replied, her fingers dancing across the control systems. We know exactly where their ships are vulnerable. The alien fleet tried to regroup, but the humans had more surprises waiting. Converted atmospheric processes created massive dust storms that interfered with the aliens' advanced sensors. Industrial fabricators launched clouds of metallic chaff that made targeting impossible. Even the settlements' waste recycling systems had been weaponized, creating electromagnetic pulses that disrupted alien communications. How are they doing this? One of the alien ship captains transmitted to Zephyros. Our sensors show they're using mining equipment and industrial machinery. Human ingenuity. Dr. Hannah said proudly as she coordinated the colony's scientific defenses. We don't just adapt to our environment. We transform it into whatever we need. The battle raged for hours, with the alien fleet becoming increasingly frustrated. Their advanced weapons couldn't lock onto targets that appeared and disappeared through underground tunnels. Their superior technology meant nothing against opponents who refused to fight by conventional rules. Park Minji suddenly looked up from her communications station with excitement. Captain, I'm detecting multiple human ships approaching the system. Word has spread about what's happening here. Through the chaos of battle, new vessels began arriving. Human freighters, exploration ships, and even some alien traders who sympathized with the colony's cause. The new soul wasn't alone anymore. Commander Zephyros watched his tactical display with growing alarms. More ships appeared. His overwhelming advantage was disappearing as the humans demonstrated something the Galactic Council had never seen before: the ability to inspire others to fight for their cause, sir. His tactical officer reported, our fleet is taking significant damage from coordinated attacks. The humans are somehow turning our own technology against us. The final blow came when Sun-Ho activated the colony's masterpiece, a massive electromagnetic pulse generator built from the crashed ship's original engines. The pulse disabled the alien fleet's weapons and left them floating helplessly in space above the planet. Commander Zephyros, Jinwoo's voice came through the communication system. Calm and confident, your ships are defenseless, but we won't destroy them. That's not who we are. The alien commander stared at his dead control panels in disbelief. You could eliminate my entire fleet. Why show mercy? Because humans fight to protect, not to conquer. Sun-Ho replied, we've proven we can defend ourselves. Now let's prove we can build something better together. As rescue ships arrived to assist the disabled alien vessels, word of the human victory spread across the galaxy. A small colony had defeated the mighty Galactic Council using nothing but creativity, determination, and the unbreakable human spirit 3 months after the battle. The grand chambers of the Galactic Council buzzed with unprecedented activity. Representatives from dozens of alien species filled the massive hall, their various forms creating a rainbow of colors and shapes under the crystal lighting. At the center of it all stood Captain Li Jinwu, no longer in his military uniform, but wearing the simple work clothes of a colonist. Supreme Chancellor Valorian, an ancient being whose species had founded the Galactic Council millennia ago, rose from his ornate throne. His voice carried the weight of ages as he addressed the assembly. For centuries, we believe that humans lack the sophistication for deep space civilization. He began, his words translated instantly into hundreds of languages. The events at New Hope have proven us profoundly wrong. Commander Zephyr stood beside his former enemies, his blue skin bearing the scars of recent battles, but his expression showing newfound respect. I have fought across the galaxy for 3 decades, he testified to the Council. Never have I encountered such resourcefulness and determination. The humans defeated my fleet using farming equipment and mining tools. Yoon Sun-ho stepped forward, representing not just New Hope, but all of humanity's future among the stars. We didn't fight to prove our superiority. We fought to prove our right to exist, to explore, and to contribute to the galactic community. Dr. Choi Hanna watched from the gallery as alien scientists presented their findings about human adaptability. Her research had shown how quickly humans could modify alien technology, how they could survive in environments that would kill most other species, and how their unique problem-solving abilities could benefit the entire galaxy. The human approach to engineering challenges everything we thought we knew about physics, declared scientist Kithara, the crystalline being whose people had mastered quantum mechanics. They don't just use our technology, they improve it in ways we never imagined possible. In the colony's communication center back on New Hope, Park Min-ji prepared for her return journey to Earth. She had spent weeks documenting everything that had happened, knowing that humanity needed to hear this story. The data cores in her ship contained proof that humans were ready to take their place among the stars. Kim Do-yeon and Lee Boyang worked side by side in the expanded engineering workshops, where alien visitors came daily to study human innovation techniques. Their partnership had created new technologies that impressed even the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Look at this, Boyang said excitedly, showing off their latest creation. We've combined human mechanical engineering with Zephyrian energy systems. The efficiency rating is off the charts. The formal ceremony began as Chancellor Valorian activated the ancient protocols that had not been used in over 1,000 years. By unanimous vote of this council, humanity is hereby granted full membership in the Galactic Alliance, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. The hall erupted in sounds that could barely be called applause, chittering, humming, and harmonic resonances from dozens of different species, all expressing approval. For the first time in galactic history, a species had earned membership through demonstrated capability rather than technological advancement alone. Furthermore, the Chancellor continued, the world designated as New Hope is recognized as sovereign human territory, with the right to self-governance and expansion as deemed appropriate by its inhabitants. Jinwu felt a weight he hadn't realized. He was carrying lift from his shoulders. Humanity was no longer confined to Earth's solar system. They were free to explore, to build, and to grow among the stars. As the ceremony concluded, representatives from various alien species approached the human delegation with offers of trade agreements. See Ultra exchanges, joint exploration, missions, the galaxy had suddenly become a much more welcoming place. "Captain," Minji said during their final private conversation, "are you sure about staying here? Earth needs leaders like you." Jinwoo looked up through the council chamber's massive windows at the stars beyond. "Earth has plenty of leaders, Minji. But this colony needs someone who understands both worlds. The one we came from and the one we're building. What should I tell them back home?" she asked. "Tell them that humans belong among the stars," he replied with a smile. "Tell them that our greatest adventures are just beginning." The journey back to Earth would take Minji months, but she carried with her the most important message in human history. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and they had proven themselves worthy of respect from civilizations that had existed for millennia. A new hope. The work continued. New colonists arrived weekly, bringing with them the skills and dreams needed to build humanity's first true interstellar civilization. The settlement grew from a small outpost to a thriving city, and then to a network of cities spanning the entire planet. Years later, when children born under alien stars asked how humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, the story of New Hope would be told. It was a tale of courage, ingenuity, and the unbreakable human spirit that refused to accept limitations imposed by others. The signal that had started it all continued to broadcast. No longer a call for a rescue, but an invitation to any human who dreamed of something greater than the world they were born on. The end.